Seth Rogen. Yo. Yo, Seth Rogen. You were the other test for whether I was a Bill hater sort of hater. Or, or, a, or a hater sort of hater. 'Cause you're, what, like a year older than me? 82? Yeah. You had a whole bunch of experiences that I wish I had. You got a whole bunch of education that I wish I managed to get. An experience. And, yeah, I like what you're about, but I gotta tell you a story. Did you release something on Netflix back in 2018, around April 24th, maybe? No. April 16th? Sometime in April 2018, you released something on Netflix? Was it called the Seth Rogen's Hilarity for Charity? I'd like to personally thank you for that, because when I watched the first half of it, which is all I could make it through, I was fully confident that entire thing was for me exclusively, and that it was being presented under the guise of what it actually was, which was what? Seth Rogen's wife's mom got early onset Alzheimer's. Dementia and mental health became a priority for his wife, and being a fine husband, Seth Rogen took that concern on for himself, and he threw Hollywood things at it to try to help. And it didn't help me. Oh, it didn't help me. It didn't help my dementia in the slightest. 'Cause we've got a generational thing going on. So if you're gonna pick a Muppet, you're gonna pick Fozzie Bear. Of course you're gonna pick Fozzie Bear. We were served Fozzie Bear on a platter, and we have a soft spot for Fozzie Bear. So of course, when I see Fozzie Bear on your special, I know that the special is just for me exclusively. Hey Seth, can you remember, did you have to shoot the Muppets without an audience so that they could do the Muppet things that make the Muppets actually work without an audience to like break the magic? Did that happen? You shot the Muppets later? There were a couple of shots of the audience, darkened audience shots where it was obvious there was no one there. That sort of detail really fucked me around. I saw that special right before I went back to the hospital for the second time. So I was fully in the zone of being this leader of big social change and big government whatevers, and my microphone might have been off that whole time if it was really quiet. That's my bad. The microphone is so shitty it doesn't really matter if the on or off button is off or on. Like it matters, but it doesn't really matter. I saw that thing in the midst of the big gold, just typing and crazy. And my interpretation of that was that you had found, my brother was running the whole operation, the whole NSA side of things, so he knew that you'd be a great person to bring along board to send me a message of support. And that's how I took it. The first half of it, and then it became too much. And then I think I started, probably shouting at you for fucking up my scientific remove. You know, like you've compromised me somehow because now I know that there's. I was so mad about. I was mad that the thing that definitely wasn't exclusively for me. I thought since it was exclusively for me, it was totally ruining my experiment of being as crazy as I could be. It didn't work out, but I sent you an email. I sent you an email because you put an email up. I guess I'll go find it because I live in an era where I can find every single thing. And thankfully, I can just search for Seth Rogen in my inbox and I won't have to deal with all the other bullshit. Let's see, Seth Rogen. A whole bunch of Twitter notifications because I think I added you on Twitter. I think I'm following you on Twitter, one of your followers. Jesus. This is the Hilarity for Charity email submission. 4/25/2018. Now, I don't know there was an email form on the website, and I remember it didn't give me proper confirmation that I sent something. Like on the page itself, there was no I think the text just disappeared. It was something shitty like that. You just emailed Hilarity for Charity, which basically makes you a saint. Unless, of course, you're here to bash one of Seth's movies. Not saintly. But seriously, your interest in HFC, Hilarity for Charity, means so much to us. We know what you're thinking. Geez, an automated response? What a bunch of corporate sellouts. But never fear, we are not a faceless airline company. In fact, it's quite the opposite. We are currently reviewing your email and will follow up with you shortly. It's important to us that everyone receives a proper and personal response. Thanks for your patience. Hilarity for Charity TM HFC is a movement led by comedian Seth Rogen and his wife Lauren Miller Rogen to inspire change and raise awareness of Alzheimer's disease among the millennial generation. Together, Seth, Lauren, and a few of their friends decided to take action by starting an HFC after Lauren's mom was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. You can join the movement by getting involved here. (4/25/2018). You just emailed Hilarity for Charity, which basically makes you a saint. 4/25/2018. You just emailed Hilarity for Charity, which basically makes you a saint. And my response to the auto response. You have murdered someone suffering from controlled dementia who is Seth's age. He was inspired directly by your special in the heights of dementia. By all metrics known to Jews, this contact is dead and your charity was worthless. I couldn't even browse the swag when I thought I'd live to see it. I'm so sorry. I don't mean those things at all. But here's your response, which I didn't think would happen because I emailed directly from the auto response, but you just emailed Hilarity for Charity, which basically makes you a saint. You can join the movement by getting involved. My response, I'm not interested. And the response I got for that was, you just emailed Hilarity for Charity, which basically makes you a saint. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. Yeah, and there's me talking to my brother about how at this stage I'm radicalized. That was one of the notions I had. I'll put up some of the pictures. I was making like screenshots on the Switch and like drawing on them and drawing like unique cryptographic insanity, decoding these things, and then that was going to be something about helping stop terrorism or radicalism. I don't know. It was crazy bullshit. But yeah, man. Seth, I like your stuff. I like Invincible. I thought when you cast yourself as the alien, Alan, is that really? It was a great choice. It was a great character. I think I didn't even read those books until I heard you were producing a series about it. And I was like, oh, same thing with Preacher. I liked Preacher too. I like the things that you have. You were more into rap than I ever was. So I like your musical choices and some of the movies you've made. You're kind of I thought we were the same age, but you're a year older. It was just I've followed your career. I've used your career as a kind of ultimately it just became a measure of whether I had turned into a fucking horrible hater or not. Kept having experience after experience that I coveted, either at some point in my past or up to today. And I guess as long as I wanted you to, as long as I wished you well and enjoyed your art on its terms, and Green Hornet's fucking dope. It was like a test for me of like, has this mental illness, has my own, loss of opportunity, has it turned me into the sort of person that's gonna hate someone just because he's having all these great experiences? And I didn't. You gave me a lot of laughs, and you gave me a real deep appreciation for anti-Semitism. There's a lot of good stuff there. You should check it out. Owen Benjamin, I think, has probably a feature somewhere. You can just learn what's out there. You might realize that it was kind of subconscious, or I don't know if it's I don't know if you guys don't have memory when you transform, but how the rest of us do. Okay, we've got a long memory of all the transformations and all the Barbara Streisand murdered like a few thousand people in Colorado at one time. I don't think it should be encouraged, that's all. Just like any religion anywhere.